We're talking to each other.
It's Monday, and that means we have another episode of Monster Monday in store for you. This year, we are celebrating 5 years of helping these heroes live their best life. 5 years of doing epic. 5 years of making sure they have everything they need. Because of you, this is all possible. We thank you for not only tuning in, but we thank you for doing epic and being part of the Monster family. Because of you, all things are possible. I'm Riot, and alongside me is the world famous Misty, and we welcome you to Monster Monday.
Hey, welcome everyone to Monster Monday. We had a little hiccup getting on live. Did you catch that, Misty, on the top? It didn't show, it wasn't live on Facebook.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I had to hit it again, and it went to YouTube, but not to Facebook. So, tech savvy Riot here nailed it. So I just got right on that. I got right on it, and I took care of some things, and I had to do some things, and I guess
on it.
the one thing I hit was try again. that was tech savvy Riot fixing it up, but I am back home, as you see, in the office, so that's a good thing. Thank you for covering last week, and thank you, Dylan, to Team Dilsty for filling in, taking care of the show. I did catch it when I was over there. I tried to stay up to watch it live, and I was like feeling really good. It was like 10 minutes to go, and I was like, man, I wonder if I could jump on a little bit. Woke up the next morning. Like that's as far as I made it. Like I was so close. But that's 6 hours ahead or 5 hours ahead. I was shot. So that's as far as I made it, but it was great. And you had Honor and Jug on there. That was fun I caught it. I think I was at the airport when I watched it. So that was fun seeing those guys, and I wasn't sure who you were going to have on. So that was kind of fun. So that was pretty awesome. But how did it go? How did it go without me? All right.
Yeah, went good. We did good. Hope you had fun.
I had a great time. We were over in Scotland, and we were celebrating my wife's 20-year anniversary at work. So she took the family to Scotland. So it was a lot of fun. And while we were there, my son got engaged. So, congratulations to my boy Eric's, who is happily engaged to his fiance Chase. So that was pretty awesome. And her mom and dad were there. We get along really good with them. So, I mean, as a dad, I was super happy because you want your kid to find the right girl, and obviously, but then it's such a bonus when their parents aren't shitheads. It's like you're bringing these people into your life, and it's like, they're a lot like me. We get along, so they might be shitheads, but at least my kind of, so it's all good. So that was great. So then I got home from that on Wednesday night, and Thursday morning I got up to ride to the taco run. So to say I was a little train wrecked when I got to the taco run would probably be an understatement. I was pretty wrecked when I got there. I rode 1,000 miles Thursday, and then slept in Walmart's parking lot for, I don't know, 3 hours or something like that. And then got up, maybe only 2 hours, and then got up and rode 500 miles. And right as I was getting there, Frosty tells me that we have a ride going on at 10 o'clock. I got there right at 10 o'clock. I parked the bike. We went for a ride. So as soon as I got there, we went for a group ride and went out to breakfast or lunch. And it was fun, though. It was worth it. I was really glad I got there at that time. And I wasn't very fun at night. I went to bed and tried to get some sleep, but it was really fun. The taco run was cool. Lots of Hoka riders there, obviously. A lot of monsters there. A lot of monsters riding the Hoka. A lot of monsters just there for fun. But it was really, really a good time. There was a great time, but I'll get a little bit more into that. But how was your weekend?
Not as exciting as yours, but Dylan dragged me to an farm auction. We did that. I don't know. It was really crappy Saturday. And then Sunday was like 75 and beautiful, and just hung out outside and we went for a ride on the Panhead, and we haven't drug my bike out yet. It's got bald tires and dead battery, and it's a wreck. So just rode
It's
the
your,
Panhard.
your spring's a little late too. Like typically it's a little bit nicer by now, but the weather is crazy. When I got up to leave the other day at my house, it was 25 degrees. I mean, that's insane for this time of year in
Yeah, it's
Jersey.
not.
It's usually not that cold at all. So I'm like, man, I thought I'd warm up if I wait a little bit. Well, I waited a couple hours and it warmed up to 27. And I thought, well, I got to go now. And my ride was just a fiasco. It was just a joke. Like if anybody, I was telling people at the taco run, if anybody would have been riding with me, they would have thought this clown actually rides across the country on his own on a regular basis. Like you would have thought it was my first day as a long distance rider. I mean, I forgot stuff. I had stuff in the wrong place. I had to stop 50 yards out of the gas station. I'd stop, get off the bike, and then take off. I got to put my heated stuff on, take it off. I lost one of my heated gloves after I had to make a stop because something was wrong, and then left there and left my heated gloves somewhere. So, and of course, I lost my left one. Or the right one, I mean, the one I would like to have a heated glove on that you keep up on in the wind all the time. My left one I could take off, but I don't know. It was just comical. But you could really tell that it was my first ride of the year, getting some of those cobwebs out of my head and the dust off the bike. So, but all in all, it went great. We got out there, and like I was saying, we had a lot of fun. There were a lot of monsters there, and Saturday went for another ride. Kind of a hog chapter style ride, just a nice, easy little gentle cruise through the countryside. And at least that's what went through my mind. And then we get to the restaurant, and Gopher's wife, who was riding with Gopher, she gives me a hug at the restaurant. She goes, Riot, I love you so much. But you are just a beast of a rider, and it scares me. We were trying so hard. We were trying so hard to keep up, and Gopher was doing 105. She was death. So I said, "Oh, poor Maggie." Gave her a heart attack, but she forgave me, so it was all good. So I said, "Oops, sorry about that." But anyhow, we had a great time, and there was a lot of monsters, involved the Hokahay, and that comes from, a lot of hard work that Wrong Way has done, getting these people, these new riders signed up. So, kind of pushes right into our Meet the Monsters, because our Meet the Monsters today is our very own Wrong Way. So I'm going to get him on stage here. He's sitting backstage chilling. So we'll get him up here.
Yay.
There he is. How you doing, my man?
Hi, y'all. Doing great.
Good, man. Thanks for coming on. I was just kind of telling people a little bit about, the work you've done to get riders. But before I get into that, I just want to, introduce everybody to Wrong Way. I think anybody's been around a little bit knows Wrong Way. He's been connected with the Monsters now for a few years. And, I still remember the first time, you reached out, you wanted to go down and meet the goat and all that kind of stuff. And it just, that seems like yesterday, and then it seems so long ago at the same time. And, I get a lot of those calls, and then you were one of those guys. I'm like, well, I don't know, man, seems like a good dude. I hope he does work out and he sticks around a little bit. And, it's funny how that conversation that I'm like, well, I hope so, turns into somebody that is around everything and really one of our key components to what we do, at Mile Monsters. So, man, it's funny how it works, but I'm really happy you're here.
Thank you. Yeah, that was almost 5 years ago. I remember your comment back when I sent you that text was, take a lot of pictures, and that was it.
Yep.
I thought, okay.
That's awesome.
We went and, Goat and crew were absolutely great. I mean, I didn't realize the relationship that you had with Goat at the time. So, I realize now you were being protective. Thankfully, me or none of my crew did anything stupid.
Yeah, exactly. And that really was, because I was, Mile Monsters was fairly new, and, the Goat was fairly new to what we do, and how we do things was new. So,
Yeah.
I was a little leery of just sending people over to meet a kid that I really had a lot of love for, and
Yeah.
I want to protect and everything else. And, I still am pretty strict about who he rides with, even.
Yeah.
I said, people can come and visit you, Goat, but you don't get on that motorcycle unless you talk to me first, and it's not that people can't ride, but man, I'm just
Yeah.
so damn protective. And I told the Goat one time, I remember, I said, because the reason I don't want just anybody to ride with you is because if anything happened, I would feel really bad for the mean things I would do. and, and he's like, okay, but
That's funny.
I kind of laughed,
Uh,
but it's like your own kids, you just kind of protect them a little bit, sometimes maybe a little bit, you know, uh, maybe more than you have to or whatever. But
Yeah.
'cause it's just different, when you have a passenger and everybody gets
Mhm.
excited in the moment. Oh, I'll take you for a ride. And very few people realize that, having a passenger is a whole different ball game.
Whole different ballgame.
Twister's one of the few I know that is like, no, I don't do passengers. And she hauls a loaded bike around all the time.
Yeah.
Some people just the weight is different, but it's just different when you have a person on there. So until I get to know the people, and if they haul their wife around, if they haul their kids around, that kind of thing is, I'm pretty leery about it. But that just comes from being a dad, as
Yeah.
it's just crazy. But so why don't you tell people where you live and what you do for work that gives you some time to do this monster stuff? Because that's a kind of good story.
Yeah. So I live in Klein, Texas, which is northwest of Houston. A little bitty small German town that's been here for 150 years. But I spent 40 years working for Ford. And then at the end of that, a former Ford boss who had been recruited to run a Dodge dealer recruited me to run the service department. And the gig was time off. And so it was, and he's known me. We've worked together since '89. And since '89, my gig has been time off. I don't want to leave anything in the bucket. I want to do it all. So he's like, well, however much time off you want. And that's been 3 years and has never questioned anything. Hoka Hey for a month, Monster's got so, and he's a supporter. He contributes to my stuff. He follows everything we do. He's the guy that posted when I put that little candy ass monsters wouldn't walk up the mountain. He's the guy that put on. He's the one that commented, doesn't sound very monsterish. That's my boss. And so he's totally cool. So all the time I need to go, he makes sure that it happens.
That's funny. You're talking about they won't go up the mountain. I'm not even going around the block. I'm like, I got some foot issues, and I'm like, I'm not. They're trying to get me. I'm like, look, I am not walking 7 miles. I walk 7 miles, and I won't walk 5 steps for the next month. But
that was
that's
fun
awesome.
though, doing what we did there.
Yeah, and I like the idea that you have the time off and you can still work. Otherwise, people are smart when they do that. Otherwise, guys will just retire. Be like, okay, fine, I'll just retire and I'll have all the time off.
Yeah, I couldn't see. I would have a difficult time with nothing scheduled at all. I don't. I may go nuts because I'm one of those that has got to be doing. So having work
exactly.
to do, and they pay me, like I'm doing something good. So works out great.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, we got a couple questions for you. Misty, you want to go
Okay.
first? Or you want me to go?
Yeah, I'll start.
All right.
So, Wrong Way, outside of motorcycles, what's a hobby or something that you like to do?
I love to remodel houses. I've posted pictures of it. I built a fireplace. My wife said, hey, how about this? So I built her a 14-foot tall, big old stone wood burning fireplace. She liked this one tile, so we tiled the house. I love doing that kind of stuff. But other than motorcycling, there's always been something. I got into mountain climbing for a while. I did Kilimanjaro. I did Machu Picchu. Got into flying for a little while, got a private pilot's, did scuba diving for a whole bunch of years. But the only thing that's been consistent has been the motorcycle. So,
And your need for an adrenaline
yes, yeah,
fix, you adrenaline junkie,
exactly.
you just change if it, because you can only do something so long and then you don't quite get that rush from it. So then you go, but
Exactly
bikes, you
correct.
always get it.
Yeah, it never changes the rush on that. Kelly will tell you that. Said, when I'm getting in a certain kind of mood, it's like, you need to go for a ride. I'll see you in a few days.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
off I
How
go.
how did you find the Mile Monsters? What was it that
So
what steered you to us?
a buddy of mine who you've met, he's been at a couple of Mile Monster things. He called me one day and he said, "Hey, you know a guy named Chris Hopper?" I said, "Nope." He said, "He lives right down the street from you." "Nope, never heard of him." And he said, "Well, you need to look up his Facebook." So I found that when he's doing his ride. And, I'm fascinated by human behavior, but even more fascinated by the reason. And his reason was Mile Monsters. And I thought, if there's something that would drive a guy to ride 100,000 miles in 100 days, I need to take a look at that. So I went to the website, and I was hooked. It was like, whoa. And this was early days of the website. This was in, late summer of 21. And, but
Yeah,
I
that's
watched every video, looked at every picture, read every word. And, yeah, so that's when I started kind of figuring out who was where. And then I figured out Goat was 3 hours down the road. So, I sent you the message, and I sent my whole riding crew a message. And a bunch of them went with me and hadn't looked back.
yeah, that's awesome too, and it's great. The one thing that really helped us out with the monsters is when we started Mile Monsters, it wasn't like it was just out of thin air. Like
Yeah.
we'd been around riding and doing the Hoka Hay since 18, and it kind of evolved into being there. But a lot of people say that they went back and watched a lot of the videos, and some of the videos I did on previous Hoka Hays and things like that, talking about the kid I rode for back then. And, so it's kind of fun, but it's fun to hear how people
Yeah.
found us and how they got kind of hooked. And it's funny because a lot of people, like, I find, like, just not even sure. Like, they're not even sure. I'm like, I'm not sure if I, was following Hops right, if I saw something,
Yeah.
like at some point somebody shared something and it like triggers something in their head to go check something out and go do it.
Yeah,
But
it hit me like a ton of bricks. So
yeah,
I know exactly.
yeah, it's like it has that effect.
It's cool.
It's like
I love it.
the kids are right there, so it really does. All right, Misty,
Yeah.
your turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Wrong way. What's your bike's name? Does it
It
have a
doesn't
name?
have a name really. I've never
Oh.
named bikes. Now I jokingly called it Jack in the beginning, and there's a story behind that. My high school mascot was a Yellow Jacket named Mr. Jack, gold and black. And that bike reminded me of it the minute I got it. And when I posted the first picture online, I was one of the guys that carried, it was a big old fiberglass mascot, and we carried paddles and we beat the crap out of anybody that tried to touch it. We were just that. And so
That's how
a lot of
old.
my
That's
buddies
how
are,
old. That's how old wrong way is when you could beat the crap out of people at school for touching the mascot.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And so one of my buddies said, "Man, that looks just like Mr. Jack," especially when I put that sissy bar on there with the point, that stinger tail. And
Oh,
so,
sure.
but now I've never named a bike really. So
Okay.
That's awesome. I like that.
raising
that.
cows and putting them in the freezer, you don't want to name stuff. And I don't get
No.
attached to
No.
bikes, so I don't know. Never have.
Yeah, the first bike I named and kept the name was Pearl, and then I still have it. The thing I
Yeah.
said I would never do, get sentimentally attached to a piece of steel. And
Yeah.
and now I have that bike, and I'm like, dang, now I got bikes are stacking up because I'm like, oh, I can't get rid of it. Like that has so many memories. It's like, no, you have to move on. So That's all right. But hey, what's been your favorite event? You've been somebody with the Monsters who have done a lot of things, a lot of events. Not only our big events, our annual stuff, but you've been there
Mhm.
for a lot of the rides, that kind of thing. So, what stands out for you as kind of the highlight if you had to narrow it down to the one that you're like, man, that was really something, or really hit me in the feelers. What would that be?
I listened to other people answer the question, so I've had, I thought about that. Um, the biggest kind of across the board is the birthday parties, turbos,
Yep.
goats. Um, those are uh, just so cool to watch, and the amount of non-monsters that we get to interact with during those. And I mean, I've loved the Monster Days. I thought Monster 100 was just absolutely incredible. Um, that short of a period of time, that many riders come together and pay for a van. That was totally cool.
Yeah, that was incredible, and it was like looking back on that event.
Mhm.
Like at the time in my world, it's so busy sometimes. Like the chaos of keeping everything rolling is so busy. Sometimes I miss out on the taking it in. Where
Yeah,
I take it in like a year after or 6 months later, and that's kind of how I felt with that. I'm like, man, that really was special, and it was
yeah,
more special looking back on it. Than you know what I mean?
yeah.
Because like when
Well,
we're
I got
doing it, we're giving the van. I'm already planning
the
the
van.
next
Yeah.
thing, and we're
Oh,
already
yeah.
like my head's already going. I think when we did the van, we were going to Ireland to do a Monster Day right after that.
Yeah.
So it was like my brain's getting flights, and we're like, okay, here's the van. This is a great moment, and but it's like
Yeah.
there's no time
Well,
to
I got,
time to
I
stop.
rode four. I rode four of the days. I scheduled one, and then I filled in, what do we call them? EMT, three times. And the two of them, I got to ride with other people, monsters, and it turned out to be just an absolute blast. And then one of them, my bike was broke. That was when I still had the breakdown bike. And so I advertised on Facebook, hey, I need a bike. And, I get a message from Hop, hey, I got you. And I'm like, the only bike I didn't want to ride was
Yeah,
Hop's. You know what I mean? I don't,
yeah,
I don't want to be that guy,
yeah, exactly.
if something happens. But so that was the most careful 1,000 miles I ever rode in my life on Hop's bike.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think Hops had a careful 1,000 miles on Eleanor
No, yeah,
yet. So,
I'm not sure it knew
um,
how to respond.
yeah, that's the only 1,000 miles that Eleanor's had that's had somebody care for her.
I just wanted
uh,
to get that bike back to his garage.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly. All right, Misty, what else you got? I know it's
Well,
coming.
I have to ask him, what's your middle name and your favorite color?
okay. Middle name is Foy, Foy. That was my dad's first name, and I never really knew the guy, so I don't know the history beyond that. It's a strange name. I haven't heard it much, so I don't have a clue. But favorite color is purple, and,
Nice.
and in 26 Harley has a purple Road Glide,
And
and
I
I
can't
have to
believe
stay.
you don't have that.
Yeah.
I know I have to. I have to stay away. I got to beat this gold one through one more Hokahay before I can even
Well,
think about.
well, my guess is those 26s are going to go on sale about November 10th, which
He
is
knows that.
3 months after the Hokahay is over with. I
He's
have a
laughing.
feeling like if I was a betting man,
Don't give away his secret.
yeah, if I was a
You
betting
have to
man,
do.
I'd be like,
You got to do this strategically.
yeah, exactly. Anybody who's been married longer than 5 minutes knows how the game is played. So I think my wife's hopefully she's sleeping on the couch.
No,
I
she
don't
already
know.
she already said
Yeah.
hi.
Yeah, but everything like it's so funny being married for so long. It's like every time I think I'm being smart and pulling something over, like she just shakes her head and be like, "What do you think this is my first rodeo?" Like like I think I'm so smart, and she's over there looking at me like I'm Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
that's hilarious.
well, that's pretty good, man. Well, we'll let you go. We're gonna spin the wheel here. Yeah, she is not sleeping. But we'll let you go. We're gonna spin the wheel here and see who our next 5 people are for a chance at Babe the Bike. But before we go,
Cool.
I want to thank you, for finding us and for you know for all you do. You're very dedicated and you have the skill set that defines the monsters. You are a beast of a rider. You check all the boxes. You ride and you got a heart of gold, and you love the kids as your own, and it really shows in the effort you put into helping them live their best life. So really appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. I'm going
Yeah.
to
And
continue watching. We'll catch y'all later.
yeah, and before you go, I don't know if I did hit the number, but a Wrong Way recruited 54 riders to ride for the Monsters in the Hokahay. So I mean, this is going to be
Still working.
epic.
Still working.
Yeah, and had I did not plan to ride in it, but I was talking with some people, and had I planned to ride in the Hokahay, I think I would have pulled out anyhow, just because we have so many riders. It's so fun, and there's so much going on that end, of it, that I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this play out. So it's really going to be cool. So nice work on that end as well.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome, man. You take care.
Okay. Catch you later.
See if I can figure out how to boot it. There we go. Awesome. So that was pretty good. He's a great
awesome.
dude. He's a great dude. And,
Is.
he's really been involved. He's been to Monster Days and a lot of the rides, and yeah, he's got 25% of the field are going to be monsters. So that's pretty
crazy.
that's pretty awesome. So when you have skill set and a big heart, it really shows. It really goes a long ways, and we have so many of those people involved with us. It's really, that was really the kind of the reason why I wanted to do this Meet the Monsters, so people could see that there's so many people like them, and people sitting on the sidelines really like, yeah, that's how I feel too. I could do that. I could get more involved. I could do this or that. But that's pretty awesome. But like I was talking about, we have the wheel that we did not do last week when I was out of town because it's just a pain in the butt. And I thought maybe I could do it from over there, but time changed and everything else that wasn't happening.
It didn't work.
But I want to show the wheel. So we'll get that on the stage here to start with, because I want to just talk about that for a second.
Wow.
This is the wheel for, I don't know if I can close these ads out of there, but this is the wheel for March. So we have 709 or 700, 709 entries on here. And every month we're gonna, here, I'm gonna get rid of this for 1 second because this should go first. This is the category 2, and this is what we're doing. Every month we're gonna spin. We were originally gonna spin it just all at once, but it was so chaotic. I thought, what fun is that to have 1,000 names or 2,000 names or whatever it would be on there. And so every month we're going to do it a little easier for us to keep track of. And then every month we're going to spin the wheel and get 5 people. And then on the 31st of August, all those monthly winners will be on one wheel. And then we're going to do it again. And then we're going to get our 2 finalists. And those 2 people are going to be on stage on the 10th of October. And if they can't make it on stage, they just need a representative. Somebody has to be standing there for them. So if you were to make it on the stage and something happened to you and you can't make it, so anybody that donates, they don't have to think they have to be in Texas to win the bike. We'll get somebody to stand in for them, whoever they sponsored. Somebody's going to be there to cover for them, so they don't have to stress about that kind of thing. Obviously we want people there, but here's the list. So every month, so I'm going to publish this list on either our Facebook page or on the website, I think. So if somebody's not on here and they said, hey, I donated to Jug for the Hokahay, but I didn't see my name on the list, if you feel we missed you, then hit us up and we'll add you again to next month to that wheel. So this is not a do or die to get on it. So I don't know. I guess I can just scroll through the bottom of it. Somebody can go back and look. It's alphabetical order by, I guess it looks like first name, but it's really cool. 709. And these are people who donated. These are people who sponsored, different riders, okay, riders, people doing fundraisers, whatever that is. Turtle and Iron Man are giving away a light, so anybody donates to that. And I think that's kind of cool too, is how they have, you could win a cool light, and that could get you in a drawing to win a motorcycle. So I think that is all pretty awesome. So there's a list of names. I'm going to shuffle this 5 times because we're pulling 5 people. So we'll hit that. 1. Let's see. Hold on. That wasn't 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. So now we're going to spin this 5 times. Before I do, I got to get a notebook ready so I can write down. Otherwise, I'll have to go through and rewatch the show just to make sure I get this right. So, and when we do this, if you have a bunch of names on there, the only name we're taking off is the one that won it. So if you're somebody that has your name on here 20 times, you could, in theory, be all 5 tonight, how it works. So if you donate, it just gives you more odds. So the more you donate, the better odds you get. So let's spin it and get the first one. Spin and we will go. Number 1 for tonight. Last time I did this, people were here in the room. There's nobody in the room with me, so that's not happening tonight. Oh, Thule with the score.
Hey.
I just saw Thule yesterday when she was leaving Oklahoma. So there, I'm going to remove that one. Congratulations, Thule. Nice job. Now we can just hit the spin again and see what we can do for number 2. I'm happy for Thule. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Let's see. Number 2. Nancy. I just saw Nancy yesterday too. How cool is that? Nancy is one of the girls riding every day of the year, the street cred. So actually, she's not doing that. Sorry, my bad. I was talking to the wrong thing. She's doing 100,000 miles this year on top of the Hokahay and everything else. So she is riding like crazy, and she's got really cool tan lines from being out riding. So congratulations, Nancy. That's pretty awesome. So 2 girls so far. Going to be standing there on the wheel. And it's funny, like they're not with me, but I saw them both yesterday, so that's pretty
crazy.
Oh, Pete. I just saw Pete. Pete is a friend of mine that I had not seen in a good hot minute. And Jersey Pete is what I know him as. And I ran into him at the airport. He is a pilot. And I was going to the escalator and he was coming up. Well, he's a biker as well. And he recognized me and he's like kind of staring at me, like giving me shit. And also I looked at him, I was like, but I hadn't seen him in, I don't know, 5, maybe 7 years. So it's kind of funny how that works. So then we were talking and he'd been watching some of this and he's like, yeah, I'm going to be donating. I said, that'd be awesome. You win that bike. And so that's kind of cool. So congratulations. Pete, what do we got? 2 left. 2 left. I know everybody's like, come on, pick me, pick me. Christopher Sleeper. I don't know who that is.
Me neither.
Anybody know who Christopher Sleeper is? If they do, post that in the comments. But this could be somebody, because this was March, could have been somebody at, Bike Week just walking by. So whoever that is, we'll find that out. But they're on the wheel, so they got a pretty good chance. What is there? 35 people going to be on that wheel. 2 of them are moving on. So
yeah, right.
yeah, somebody got smart right away. All right, so this is all of March, and it comes down to this one left. There are 705 names on this wheel, And then after that, it's all cleared. That's the one nice thing though, is for another donation, you can get into April and make sure. So you jump back on and sponsor somebody else, you can be on it for the April. So it's not over till it's over.
No.
All right. The last one for March, anyhow, is dun, 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 drum roll. I can't hear it in my head because I got the other screen on. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Selena.
Nice.
And I like to see names popping up when there's a chance they'll sell it. She rides a trike, so maybe it'll be for sale that night if Selena wins it. So congratulations to Thule, Nancy, Jersey Pete, Christopher, and Selena. I know 4 out of 5. I think that's pretty awesome. Let me get rid of this.
Okay.
Let me get back to here and be all good. So congratulations, you guys. We're going to let people know that they did in fact make the cut. So we have 10 down, 25 to go to get them on the wheel. So that's going to be pretty awesome. Let me get my banner back up because I got to talk about that and be good to go. Get my notes back in here so I know what I'm talking about and be all good. All right. And I did forget to show you one thing I thought was kind of funny because at the taco run, I was, trying to be the man of the hour. Everybody was spending like a half an hour trying to put their stickers as high as they could on the taco sign. So like if you put it up there, and Hop had his up there for a year, and I think Iceman got his above it, and then somebody else stacked theirs. So I took my drone out and was going to try to stick it on the flagpole. And the first one was a fail. It blew off, and I thought, well, I better stick it good. And then Jay got a video of it, so I want to show you this quick. Oh, hold on 1 second.
He's going for the flagpole.
He does a good job. You want to see how lucky this is?
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was crazy. I would like to say that I'm a really skilled drone pilot, and that's how it got there. But that was like 98% luck and 2% I can fly a drone good enough. Kind of got it there, and right when I was going to go in a position, the wind was blowing a little bit, and I rocked it over, and it got on there, and I didn't crash, and I looked like a superstar. And it held up in the rain. It rained all night long because I couldn't get it wrapped on it good. And I thought, well, we'll see if it stays. It's there good enough to let the crowd cheer. So that was pretty funny. But
That's awesome.
I got sticker placement champion of the day for sure.
Yes,
So,
you did.
Yep, that was pretty good. And the other big thing I did down at the run was go get a tattoo. So
I saw that.
yeah, I got the logo tattooed on my shin, and that felt like a lot of fun.
I bet.
I've fallen asleep during a few tattoos. I wasn't sleeping during this one. So I was wide awake, but that was good. So a shout out to the tattoo place down there. They did a great job. Tanner really nailed it. And man, he did it really fast too. I was surprised how good these guys are nowadays, and putting color and doing things so fast. Tattoos we were talking about the whole time. My first couple tattoos were a bloodbath of old school bikers. That's the only people that did tattoos back in the 80s. Were guys that grew up in the 50s. They had a little rough. So the new techniques are much better than they used to be. So, but it was kind of cool. But it was a lot of fun. What else did I have from down there I wanted to share? I think that's it. Yes. And the M77 was going on, is going on. And when we were down there, a few of the girls went for a walk and did the 7 miles. So Frosty and Value and Rolo all walked 7 miles that day around the park. And it was really fun because, I thought it was really nice that Teeter and Iceman and of course
Mm,
Twister was helping too. They were supporting them, and every
they
lap
were
they
supportive.
went, yeah,
Yeah.
every lap they had a toast and a cheers and had a beer. And that was pretty funny. So that I thought that was good. If you can't walk, then have a beer for the walkers. That was good, but they did a great job. And Iron Man, he's like running, so he's supposed to do 7 miles, and they get 9 or 10, and he's cruising along. He's starting to disappear. He's getting pretty thin, but
Yeah.
he runs like the damn wind blows. So that was pretty good. But I want to give those guys a shout out because they are on day 103 and week 14 and month 3, and they have 893 miles so far, almost 894. So that's a lot of miles covered. When you think about it, you're talking about 103 days cranking out miles like that every single day. And I don't know.
Sounds
And Dooley doesn't do it all, and he did his miles yesterday, and then had Brody over there, and he sent me some pictures. I couldn't get him to load right, but they're on our Facebook page. If you look for that, you see Brody help him cook, and he's a little chef in the making, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And let's see, so that's pretty good. But news wise, there was a lot going on with in my world, so I missed a lot of stuff that was happening with the boys. I do know that it was hard to get a hold of Elfie because he's in trouble again with his phone. But Elfie's PlayStation broke. So I know that
Yep.
news. His PlayStation broke and he was all bummed out. So the monsters stepped up and sent a new PlayStation 5 to him. So thank you guys for being on that wheel, because that's the kind of things we can step up quickly and keep a kid living his best life and keeping him out of trouble. So we got him a new PlayStation 5, a couple new controllers, and they made it there. You send me a text that they were having problems. I'm like, and I'm in Scotland. I don't know what's going on. And I don't know. They must have more issues over there because I order things on
Yeah.
Amazon all the time here and never have a problem. There, they have to have a code. So they're emailing me the code, except I'm not looking at my emails, or I don't even have a service half the time. And then I get the code, I send it to his mom. They send a new code every day, not just here's the code. So
Yeah.
so I give her the code they sent me. Well, now he's there for day 2 and to deliver it, and it's the code for day 2. I was
It's
like,
wrong.
I mean, I am not built for that kind of interaction with human beings. I'm like, I go straight to, can I just throw you off the bridge and then I'll deliver it myself? That's how that's how it
Yeah.
works. But it was all good. It was all good. So I'm anxious to hear the rest because I missed most of it. So
Yeah.
what did I miss?
Okay. So speaking of the M777, John walked, or I should say ran, with Brody. And I don't know if you saw, but he shook a tooth loose. I saw there was blood blood on the ground. So it must have caused a loose tooth there. And but he kept up with him, and I think he was in his wheelchair.
Yeah, on the chair.
runner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they did their 8 miles, and then the Brody's family had some big news they wanted to share. So mom's gonna have a baby in November. So that was kind of
Oh, dang.
yeah.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah. They presented the t-shirts to the kids, and I think it kind of I don't know, there's a little emotion with Brody, so that was pretty cool. So yeah.
That's pretty awesome. That's great. That's great news.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't hear that. I didn't see that news. So that's big news.
Yeah, that's pretty big news that just happened. So yeah, I want to congratulate them.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
that's awesome.
Turbo Time, be sure and watch tomorrow. He'll be on. I don't know. Did you catch his show?
No, I missed it all, and I tried to look at it, but I just didn't have any service when I was sitting there with the phone. I didn't have any service, so I don't know. I'll try
Okay.
to get that now that I'm settled back in, because once I get back, then it was just chaos, and I hate to say it, but I couldn't watch things when I ride. I usually watch movies and watch Facebook stuff. And
Yeah.
I left, part of my hassle was I forgot to bring my sunglasses with readers in them.
Oh,
So the sun
that
came up. I had to
no.
stop at a truck stop and buy a pair of glasses. And then everything somebody sent me, I couldn't read it. So I couldn't get caught up on anything for the whole 3,000 miles. I actually had to focus on riding motorcycle. And it was like,
Probably a good thing.
yeah, it's like, yeah, that's kind of what I thought. There's a few times I was lane splitting and I was like, it's probably better that I'm not not do that. But yeah, Nathan, congratulations on that. That's awesome. Great news. I don't know why many people have to have kids during deer season, but that's another topic for another day. You got to
Yeah.
plan that a little better, but
He didn't plan that right, but that's okay.
yep, exactly. Good news.
Exactly. Jackson got in a bit of trouble during daycare for his behavior, but you got to take the good days with the bad days. And I think we all have that too. And so, it's
Yeah.
all good.
Yeah, I had a few of those bad days from daycare right until last weekend.
I was going to say yesterday, maybe.
So I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure when that goes away. The difference is like, who they tell. That's the only difference. So like it's mom now, but eventually they dial 911.
Maybe. No.
So he'll get over it.
He will. Well, I think he did. Saturday, he got to go to a carnival at the school, and then he went to a musical at park. So he had a great time this weekend. So, other news, Gavin, he's been painting away. I don't know if anybody saw his pictures. Of course, I didn't win this weekend, and I was kind of upset about that. I needed that picture.
Yeah, the flag one was so cool, and I saw
I
that
know.
when we were. I think I was driving in Scotland and everybody was sleeping in the car and I couldn't get on. I tried to pay and it wouldn't let me do it. I don't know if I didn't have enough service or what. So I was like, man, I got to get that when I get back and
Me
get
too.
a hotspot. And I never did. So I was a little bummed, but when's the new one going to be released?
The new one's on Friday the 17th. And Jess says she thinks the ladies are really going to like this one. So tune in Friday. So
that's awesome.
That's all I know. So tune in, ladies. Well, everybody, but yeah, I guess the ladies will really like it. Please continue to vote for the GOAT on his page. Hang in there just a little longer so we can help his wish become a reality.
Yeah, like I saw that was still going on, and I was like, how long does the voting go? Is this a presidential election? Like, is he gonna when he wins, is he gonna be running the country or what? It's like yeah, I was like, it seems like, like the election starts and they start, advertising stuff. I was like, man, these are kids. And it goes on for half the school year.
They're heading to Houston on the 23rd for pulmonologist. And June 6th is the GOAT's second annual taco feast. So be sure and go to that at Cowboy Harley in South Austin.
Awesome. That's gonna be cool, and yeah, because I'm reading the comments. Exactly what I tell people not to do when you host a show. Don't pause and read things.
I'm not concentrating.
Dylan does a great job at putting them up there, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. I'm like the little distracted one. But yeah,
I'm not reading them.
I think that's awesomeness, and that taco feast is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss it unless I luck out, and it happens to be when I'm on my ride and, we go by there because I'm going to be a little bit busy starting May 13th.
You will be.
So there's that. So that happens.
Yep.
You got anything else from anybody exciting happening?
It's Honor Week. So it started yesterday. So if you wrote yesterday,
I nailed it. I'm 2 days into Honor Week, and I got them both. And my bike's sitting outside. I got to just go for a ride every day. I'm going to set my mind to doing it this week for Honor Week. I'm just so far. I feel like I'm really on it. Got 1,600 miles in for Honor Week so far. It's the next 7 miles that are going to be hard.
That are going to be the tough one. I rode yesterday on the back, but now today I didn't make it out today. So
it's not too late. You know, it's early there. What is it? 8 o'clock there. So
8
yeah,
o'clock,
speaking of which,
yeah.
I guess I better
Getting
hurry up.
dark.
It's 8:50, so I guess we better wrap this up. We all
We
good?
gotta wrap it up. Craig's Ride, if you're thinking about signing up, you still have time. So
Yes, there is time. Craig's right, and the Mural Madness.
yes,
So I think I'm gonna put both those down. What is the date today? The 13th?
today's the
Yes,
13th.
because the next week is the 20th. That'll give anybody 10 days for Craig's Ride if they get into it to get into it, and which is super easy. I mean, you could literally sign up on the 29th and have it banged out in one day at the beginning like this. So it's designed to get people interested in what we do and how we do it and show you that you can do it. So go to wildass.com, go to our page, do whatever you want to do, and we'll hook you up. Hit me up personally, I'll tell you about it. So, and the Mural Madness is the same thing. You know, that started, but you don't have to get in it on day one. You can start these things throughout the year. You know, if you don't want to join Mural Madness until June, that's fine. That's when you get free time to ride. So don't sweat that stuff. Get in on these things. Have fun. It's just a fun way to ride motorcycle, a fun way to see cool things that are out there to see. And we're raising a little bit of money to do what we do. So, you know, it's a win-win all around. So it's really going to be awesome. But that's cool. I don't have anything else, I don't think. Nope.
either.
I don't. I am just planning to get ready for my ride, and I want to just put this out that I don't have the picture of it, so I'll do that next week because people can join me, and it starts on the 13th. So we'll figure that out, and there'll be much more to come on everything. So stay tuned, and congratulations again to our 5 people that got on the big wheel. That's a 1 in 35 chance, or really a 1 in 17, because there's 2 people going on there. So that's pretty good odds that, you know, you can make the stage once you get onto that final wheel. So congratulations again. And I'm going to try to set some time to make something up on the website, so all the people are going to be listed right on there. So that's pretty badass. So that's that. I don't have anything else. You got anything else? Dylan, are we good? All right, we are good. All right, everybody. It's good to be back. I'll be here for another 1, 2, 3 for sure, maybe 4. Then I'll be doing it from the road. But I have my Starlink figured out.
Nice.
I'm all good. So I should be able to stop wherever I am and join in and have some fun and take a little time off. There'll be quick shows. I got to hit the road again, but that stretch will be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to it. So peace out. Thank you, Misty, as always. You do a great job. And I love that hat. That left side of the hat looks badass. That's Turbo Time's hat. He must have those right on the show to get them.
It does. There's only a few left.
There's only a few left. I got to get on it.
That's what they said. Yeah.
Well, I gotta in with the maker, so a few left equals another. I think that means
another round.
I think that what that means is there shall be more hats coming soon. Because Riot's going to get one of those hats, I guarantee you. If I have to go to Craig's place and beg him to make me one more hat. So that's awesome. So that's what we got. You guys have a good night, and we'll catch everybody later. Peace.
Have a good week.